of our hearts be always acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. Do you ever have a vision? I had a vision last night. What I do every Saturday night is to read through the lessons 2 or 3 times and then go to sleep. I always pray that something will happen during the night, that I'll wake up with a wonderful sermon that everybody will be excited about. Sometimes other strange things happen. So last night, I did have a couple of dreams, and one of them was about last week. Janice is not with me this morning because last Monday she was pushing a garbage can, and the garbage against the wind, and the lid came off and smacked her in the face. Now she has ended up with bruises all over her face, and she's kind of looks like she's been abused, and she doesn't like to be seen in public that way. But I didn't laugh. Self-preservation, I know. And then on Thursday or Friday morning, she had a pair of new wedges, one of those are shoes, and she fell off on them and broke a toe and broke a bone in her foot. So she's on one of those boots now. And I left her in bed this morning. So that was one of the things I was thinking about. How what happens to us as we walk through life. How did that come out of the lessons? I also had another vision, and it was a memory of something that happened to me. When I was 20 years old, I was a senior in college, and I found out that I was just 8 credits away from graduating my 3rd year of college. And I said, oh, if I take these classes during the summer, I can graduate and go to work. And so I did. The music department was not happy about that, but they let me do that anyway. So I graduated, got my degree, and I started teaching school at a very small high school, country high school, close to the college. And 2 years later, my 15-piece band had turned into the 48-piece band, and the college was very proud of me, I think. Anyway, they invited me to come back and to be their pilot in their attempt to start a master's program in music education, and I would be the first. So that's what I did. I moved all my stuff back up to the college and started classes and started teaching in the demonstration school. And by the end of the first semester, my advisor came to me and he told me that this was not working. Because you're doing a very good job at the demonstration school teaching, but your classwork is not going to make it. In fact, it's over. And I said, well, what am I going to do? Tell me what I can do about this. And he said, what he said was, what you need to make some decisions. And because I trust you, whatever decisions you make will end up being very good for you for the rest of your life. Whatever decisions you make will be very good for the rest of your life. It's not what I wanted to hear. What I wanted to hear was, you do this and this and this, and everything will be okay. I wanted him to be my mother, to tell me what to do, to take care of me, to pat me on the back. No, what he said to me was, Bill, take up your junk and get out of here. Take up your bed and walk. But he said to me, do you want to be well? Well, that's what I did. But I'm a very fortunate human being, because a friend called to say that she knew a band director who was sick and was not going to be able to finish the semester, the end of the school year, and was maybe I'd be available to cover for till the end of the year. Oh yes, so I picked up my stuff and I go to this new school and I substitute for the rest of the year. And I ended up being hired as the assistant for the next year, and the band director didn't get well, and so I ended up being the high school band director of the largest high school band in the state of Tennessee. How about that? I took up my bed and walked. Not what I wanted to do. This is a metaphor, of course, of your story, isn't it? Both of those little stories I told are your story. And if you got lost in any of my stories, listen to what you got lost in. Because I have a feeling that every time you get distracted from something that's going on around you, that may be the voice of God talking to you specifically, saying, I love you. Take up your bed and walk. Because how many times have you been discouraged? How many times have you been sick? How many times have you given up on yourself? And yet here you are. How many times have your friends let you down? How many times have your friends said to you, take up your bed and walk? Not knowing where you're going, and yet here you are. It's almost as if the revelation of Peter is coming through here. It's kind of like walking through the streets of the city of God and seeing the tree of life with all of these fruits hanging on it, with all of these opportunities. And they're specific just for you. Personally, as I walked out of that depressing scene in college, I was able to pick some fruits that moved me forward. And here I am, 60 years later, 65 years later, still walking the streets of the city of God, still picking the fruit that are just hanging there, and they're specific for me. I am such a fortunate human being. You walk the city of God. And Jesus doesn't say, do this and I'll take care of you. He says, I love you. And now I'm out of here because you have the Holy Spirit. Take up your bed and walk.